Live. Keep your fingers crossed.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Be the Media Huntington. Today is Wednesday, September 19th. I'm Jenny Lee, and tonight I have a special guest with me tonight, Miss Lisa and
Maverick.
Mr. Maverick. And we also have Miss Dana.
Hi, guys.
So how is everyone doing this evening?
Very good. Hectic, but very good.
Crazy, right?
I would agree. Very hectic.
I think we always remind each other that we're volunteers. We volunteer to do this craziness.
People assume stay-at-home moms have it easy. We really don't.
Yes.
Or grandmas.
No, yeah, we really
Maverick started crawling in the last week, and he's crawling a lot. Oh my God. And he's pulling himself up. So it's times 10, running around times 10. Holy cow.
As he pops up. Yes. Well, we had a few issues last week, and we have decided to change the formatting of some of our show. We are no longer going to bring you long clips of town board meetings. The sounds just don't carry over well onto the show. But we will be providing you links and information to go view the information yourself, along with our very diversified opinions of what we thought that we saw. But we also from time to time get people who may not have enjoyed some of the content on our show or took it personally, and that's okay too. We try not to name names or hurt feelings, but we call them as we see them. I know Dana wanted to say a few things about that.
I just would like to remind everyone that this is something that we do because we felt as though we didn't have any real representation as far as news was concerned when it came to Huntington. We're not biased. We don't pick and choose, what people send to us. We report what they send. And if you feel as though we say something out of context, then you feel free to call us. Last season, I had said something about a very good friend of mine, Dom Spada, that was taken out of context. Dom contacted me himself, and we had a conversation. And on the next show, I explained what exactly I meant. And I did apologize if it came out in a wrong way. However, that's not going to always happen. You may not like what we have to say, but if something comes to myself, Jenny, and Lisa, or Lisa and Jenny, or myself and Jenny, obviously it's a concern of someone's. We all got hit with certain things, and those are the things that we decide to focus on. And we're not here to make friends. We're here to report what it is, and that's it.
And we're not making it up. We talk about the things other people are gossiping and whispering about.
And the sad part about it is that if you see myself, Jenny, or Lisa in public, we keep the same energy. We're going to tell you the same thing.
Yep.
We're not whispering behind anyone's back. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not, let's team up on this one and team up on that one. And it's nothing personal. There's absolutely nothing personal. So, people need to keep that in mind. And if you don't want things said about you, then don't make yourself the center of attention. And it's a good possibility that it won't be. That's all I have to say about that.
I think we were talking about the terminology. We actually have a terminology in my house, and I'm just going to put it out there. I don't even care. We call it pulling a Mary Beth in my house. When you make everything, and that's not really necessarily specific to anybody, but when you put all the attention on yourself and you have to make everything about you and you broadcast it in such a way, you're bringing that type of negative attention on you. And then people start talking about it, and then they send us stuff, and round and round the circle goes. So don't pull a Mary Beth.
Exactly. Then we'll be okay.
Right. So we do have some upcoming meetings and events that we wanted to go ahead and let everybody know about that are coming up this week. There is a town board meeting tomorrow at 7 p.m. There is a ZBA meeting at 6 p.m. tomorrow, 1 hour right before the town board meeting. There is an ethics board meeting, and they don't meet that often, at 10 a.m. on Friday. So if you have any issues with people being unethical, you may want to show up Friday at 10 a.m. and discuss that with the ethics board, who, by the way, is conveniently appointed by the town board. So that's Friday. And then after that, this Saturday is the Unity in the Community Parade on September 22nd. I want to circle back to that one too, by the way. And then we have our Meet the Candidates night on September 27th at South Huntington Library at 7 p.m., which is going to segue us right into the upcoming elections, which we weren't able to touch on last week and couldn't wait to get to this week.
Jenny, who is sponsoring this Meet the Candidates?
This Meet the Candidates night. Oh, that's a good one. Is it the new civic group? Here, let me look it up.
Yeah, I just always like to give them a little bit of props so people know about them.
I want to make sure. I think it is. Yes.
I think it's Sam's group.
It's Sam's group. In fact,
League of Women has one too, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
But yeah, here's the information, and here's the page. South Huntington Station Civic Association, Thursday, September 27th. They're having the Meet the Candidates night, and that one's really important.
Yeah. I think it's, we just want to make sure everybody knows who's giving it out.
Yes, thank you for the reminder. I often forget.
That's okay. That's what we have.
I get really guilty lately, and I hate forgetting anything. All right, so the upcoming elections. Ba-da-da-da-da-da! All right, so what seats do we have open on the town board? Dina, bring it home if you could.
Why do we go through these things?
Okay, wait, we have a town council seat that's up.
We do. We have
receiver of taxes.
So we have the town council, which will be, that's one seat is open, and we have Joan Sergel and Jim Leonick that are both fighting for that position. We have the receiver of taxes, which currently Jillian Guthman holds, and her opponent, she was appointed, so this is her first election as well. Her opponent is Janet Cimitelli, who ran for state assembly, but now she's going for tax receiver. I think we also have the state assembly, if I'm not mistaken, with Steve Cern, but I'm not sure who his opponent is. And then, of course, we have the big one with Cuomo, the governors. And who else did I miss? We have a whole slew of judges as well, but I don't really get into them because they can't really say much when they go for so you have to basically do your research because they are forbidden to say anything. So
I think it's called BehindTheRobe.com or something like that is a good place. Lisa, you might know because you know all the.
Gully and Whalen are running on the Democrat ticket.
Oh, how many seats?
Not sure.
All right. We're probably going to want to replay our Party of One, which was our very first episode, which was where we came out of the gate to explain all the confusion about cross-party endorsements and all that other stuff. So it's really important to get to know the people and not vote party lines because they are playing a game of math to get certain people to win. In fact, sometimes they will run the same person over and over again for many different positions and try to, fool you because they're they're gender appropriate or something like that. I always get, all right, let's just play it out on the table. So the Republicans are running Janet. And if you go back and if you review, last year when she was running then, I was in support of Janet. However, it's obvious when you run for a legislative creating seat and then you run for a secretarial because that's pretty much what being the tax receiver is. When you run for that type of position versus the other, after you've run for two and lost those other two seats, You're in it to be a player for the party. You're a position holder. So when I see people who start to kowtow to the party line, that's when they lose my support.
It makes no sense. I really don't understand the reasoning, the concept behind that. It's embarrassing.
It is.
I don't understand why that happens.
They're throwing a woman up to have a woman at every race that she's already lost to. So now we're going to put her at receiver of taxes. Can you not see?
There are other women. Why would she say yes? There are other women.
Because eventually she's going to get appointed a job. It's not about her. It's about her agreeing to do for the party. And the party runs certain candidates so that other candidates win. It's discussions that they have in back rooms that really have nothing to do with the people. These people are just willing to let themselves be used.
Yeah, that's a good word, being used.
And they're being used for their party in hopes of eventual gain of an appointed position. And we see that they're being handed out like proclamations.
Yeah.
I just think that her campaign strategy was totally different than the person that it was representing. Because if you have a conversation with Janet or have any correspondence with her, her campaign didn't reflect what she really represented.
Correct.
And we're not in today's time. You can't just say, well, that's just how her campaign was done, because you have to be smart enough or savvy enough to hire people that run your campaign effectively, because you're campaigning to win our vote. So I thought that was a little bit distasteful.
But that's how the Republican Party works. The Republican Party makes you take specific people to run your campaign. So they have full control over your campaign. They have full control over your funding. They have full control over your messaging and you as a human being. And that's how they control letting the specific chosen other candidate on the other side assured a win.
It's funny you should say that, though, because I would have to question that. And let me tell you why. I would agree with you to an extent, especially with the last election. However, the one Republican that before I just couldn't stand him. I just could not stand him. Now it's not. He's just a little bit too arrogant, but he does make good points, and he gives you the real deal. Ed Smith, he does not tote the party line.
You know what? I think he did until he got in, because
I can't say that, because when he was running, he talked about what he wanted to. He talked about his flowers. He talked about down there. He talked about He was very clear.
That's true. He got a lot of slack for posting that photo of the corn growing in the planter downtown, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
He did kind of color outside of the lines, looking back.
And he still does. And you
can't
help but respect the fact that I don't like his approach, because I think he's a little bit too brash, but the man has information. And you have to give credit where credit's due. He knows what he's talking about, and he brings things to the Huntington people that I think other people are scared to talk about. He doesn't care. So I think it all depends on where you're at in that particular Republican Party, because he's a prime candidate to say, I do what I want. I got in how I want. I'm acting how I want, and I'm going to do what I think is best. And he makes no bones about it.
I have to say, you're right. I agree 100%. I agree.
Because there's some of them that we know, they tote that party line and they don't step out of the box. He's not one of them.
To a certain extent, though, the rules have been established in the game, and you have to play the game to a certain extent to get your foot in the door, to get the party nomination, to even get in to try to change things.
I agree.
So you never really know what's going on in somebody's mind as to how they're trying to do that. This is why I've lost faith in Janet. She should have, at the point that they said, well, we're now going to run you in this spot. How much more time and effort are you going to spend? And how, it's not
a good look. It's not a good look to go from a state assembly to tax receiver.
So
this is not to slight. I don't want anyone to take it out of context. we're not slighting the tax receiver because it's a hard, complex job. You're dealing
Oh
with
yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
have grievances and all that. We're not.
Oh, it's even
not
insulting for me to say it's just secretarial. There's so much. I mean, secretaries do a lot. I'm a secretary sometimes.
Me too.
I'm really not bashing a secretary. I know how hard it is, but it's more administrative,
right,
and less legislative. So they're
right.
two completely different ends of the spectrum as far as, why'd you get involved in politics?
Right.
To make a difference and change. Okay, I believed you for the first time, but if you're willing to sit down now and file shit, I'm done. So she's lost me. I'm gonna write you in again, Dina. I wrote you in for the primaries.
Can you not?
I wrote it. It was so fun.
I wrote it, please.
I love writing people in. It's so good.
Can you not do that again? Because somebody might take that idea and run with it. No. But it is. I would like to see how this election takes part, especially with the town council seat, because both parties are gentle people. Both parties. That's Leonick and Sergel. So I want to see if the mudslinging that went down in the last election will go down in this election.
It'll certainly tell you who's in charge of the campaign.
I would believe that. I would believe that because they're both very nice, easygoing people. I really have nothing negative to say about Leonick at all. So, and I've never heard him say anything crazy except for the water part, but that's another story. So it should be good to see.
I knew she needed to grab a bottle.
Yeah, that's what I went ahead and go
do. So, yep, we do. We have Joan Sergel, who's running on a bunch of. I still don't know the results for the reform part. Not that I mean
the working parties. Joan, I think she won it by like 68 or 70 something percent, as far as the writing goes.
I don't even know why people need to struggle over these small.
Can you read out and remind us of which parties there actually are again? Are there any new ones this year? Because it seems like every election there'll be a new party line called something else. So I haven't looked at it in a while.
Never saw the Stop the LIPA tax line come back.
Oh, okay.
Although there was a LIPA announcement. Ooh, let me go there. Because you guys need to know about this. But I have to tell you, it's funny that you bring this up because that was a line to vote on that they used.
Yeah, that was, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
4 years?
Wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Let me see. There's so much going on. There's so much stuff here. Here we go. So I'm just going to show you where to find this. I'm not going to play anything. It's going to distort sound or anything. It's on the Town of Huntington website. It was released today. It's a LIPA lawsuit update, letting us know where it's at. But just to kind of fast forward, everything that's going on now, as important as this is, it's pretty much what are the steps that they can appeal this, right? It will take approximately 2 years to receive a decision on the appeal. This is going to be going on for a really long time. This is not going to end anytime soon. And it was 4 years ago that they had the Stop the LIPA party line, and they still haven't stopped them.
I think that we just really do entirely too much with these, creating the working party line, then the reform line, and then it's.
And everybody's got to sign stuff. People are going to be knocking on our door soon. My husband, yours too, because your kids are Independence Party members. And that's that's a free-for-all line.
I hope nobody comes here because I saw some things and I heard some things for that working party line that happened at that Jack Abrams school. I hope those people don't come over here because I'll be right at the beginning of my block telling everybody, just close your doors when they come here. Because they just have the most foolish people just saying the most outrageous things. And it's like, are you really from the working party? Because I, for the life of me, couldn't understand why the working family party line would be in line with the Republicans. Two totally different monsters. They have nothing in common. Working families and Republicans don't go together.
Well, that's why when we see the judges getting cross-endorsed, the Democrats by the Conservative Party, it's so confusing. But they win elections because they do that. And nobody ever checks the judges. They just go in and they get this mentality of voting across the party lines.
Yep.
I get creative.
I will admit, as I hate to say this openly, but for judges, I usually just go by what I know. And sometimes I do just go with my party. I hate to say
and that's the most important position, because I want you to think about this for a second, right? Nationally, what's everybody freaking out about? The Supreme Court justice, right?
Yeah.
So they are our local Supreme Court justices.
Yeah.
And nobody pays attention to it. We don't vet them. We don't vet them.
No, we really don't. And I did just recently, I think in the last 2 elections, started really paying attention to the judges, which is kind of sad because I probably should have been paying attention all along. But I'm honest, you know.
You know what, though? You at least speak for other people who have been doing the same thing. And if you can admit that you made a mistake, maybe inside themselves, they'll say, I think I've been making a mistake, even if they don't admit it to anybody, and start just looking a little bit harder, clicking one more click to verify a few more things instead of, not. It's the local Supreme Court justices. You're more likely.
Court watch.
Most
people don't even have a clue to what anything happens in the courts.
And you're more likely to stand in front of one of these judges,
right,
than ever have a Supreme Court case, and everybody's fighting over this one. You need to pay attention locally.
Mm-hmm. I think people misunderstand, or they don't grasp exactly how much powers local elections have.
So much.
And it's not just for the town council. I'm talking about in general. So it's kind of like, look at Maverick. It's kind of like you need to pay attention.
Time for bed. No, it is getting.
Look at them thighs. He's ready to eat.
Very soon.
He's gonna be out.
I just also wanted to mention in regards to this election, and I have to say it, I'm sure we're gonna get feedback from it, but you can say Dana said it, because I did.
Let them inbox you, though. You started it last week, too.
I know. It wasn't me. Last week, I just chimed in. I just put but this week, I'm starting this one.
Okay.
I want to know, because I've heard a lot of interesting things about the town council seat. Now, this is what I'm hearing. The plan is to get Cook, Smith, and Leonick on the same ticket. If they get in, Chad's vote, the supervisor's vote is no longer important, and neither is Mark's vote. I wonder if people are paying attention to that. I would like to see what people think about that, the Leonick, Smith, and Cook line. Because if those three work together, our town supervisor really would be powerless unless he was in line with what they were thinking. And why I say that is because I was at the last town board meeting, and in the meeting before then, Smith and Cook seemed to be in line with one another. So it would just be interesting to see how that went down if that was the case. So I just wanted to put that little buzz out there because I've definitely heard it over brunch a few times. I thought it was very interesting. I have to say it. Sorry, not.
I hear you loud and clear. It's like a coup, right?
Yeah. And I would have never thought that in a million years.
I hear that. I think we've all always said we personally like Chad, but there's a lot of people that are not satisfied with what's happening. So it's a lot of it has to do with the appointing mostly.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, I hear this all the time, all the time.
And I think people underestimated
who's within the party and willing to start a coup. Because the Republican Party has been divided for a really long time. And they've tried to force out Tony a few times, who keeps open a certain amount of seats so she gets her, and everything else. So she still kind of controls it. But there has been outward coup attempts for a very long time that I've personally witnessed.
I think
without naming names, but I did personally witness it.
I do think that we are in for an interesting ride. I am eager to see how it plans out, because if that combination comes down, it would be very interesting. That's all I'm going to say. And there, all jokes aside, there is a lot of talk about the appointments, and I think people have a miss idea of what they don't have the full idea of what we're talking about, because it's not just one particular group that's not being, it's anyone that's not a white male. Let's be honest, because some of these people, and these are women that are well qualified, they're not even getting a call back. So
they had some appointments though, but again, they already had another connection. Like, you had the one woman from South Huntington who works at the schools
and lives in Freeport. So why is she appointed? What does she have to do here?
So, but it's almost like they picked her on purpose. And there, I will reserve my personal feelings about.
I won't, because they picked a Latino to satisfy the Latino vote, and they threw the African American there as a bone. Also, just shut up. We're just gonna put her in there, so now you guys can't say anything, because not only did we hire 2 women, but we hired 2 minority women. So I'm crossing the T's all the way, because I don't see what that deputy has to do anything. She retired from South Huntington, so she's no longer working in South Huntington, and she lives in Freeport.
So the thing is, though, like, if I was to like run for office, I would want to surround myself with people who were loyal to me. That's just me, because I would have my agenda and I would want to put my agenda forward. So I would, but some of the people that are being appointed are not necessarily being put there for loyalty. They're being put there to satisfy, like you said, we're checking off a few of the diversity boxes.
Yep.
But on top of it, it's mostly to satisfy the beast of the party. And not just on one side, because we've always said it is the party of one. There are talks that are happening behind the scenes as to, I'm going to run this person, you run this person, I'm going to let this person win. But in that place, you're going to give me these seats. These seats were all negotiated a long before anybody even won.
Yeah, no, that I learned. I think you taught me that, and then I started researching.
Then you saw it happen.
Yeah, because you gave me a pretty good rundown, and I will say it was fairly accurate. I will say that. And then I just witnessed things for myself.
Future proves past, always. If you can look back and say, I heard this and then it happened, and I watched it for myself when I was paying attention, it's a verifiable fact at that point.
It is, and it's sad, because I was hoping that with the new administration, at least some things would change a little bit, because I know that the new age of Republicans, the ones that, the ones of us that are still in the 30s type of thing, we have a different mentality. So I was hoping Chad, the supervisor, was going to bring that into it, which I think he wanted to, but some of the old guard wasn't willing to let that happen, and that's unfortunate.
The new direction hit a serious crossroad is what happened.
Yeah, a serious
one. Whatever happened, something happened. It split them up, and I think you're right. I think that maybe, because when you think about it, Smith was the original New Direction. He's definitely shown that he's willing to color outside the lines.
Yeah.
And if Leah Nick's going to be anything like Ed, and they're going to join forces with Cook, who pretty much showed last week there's an outright war with Chad right now. And Joan's kind of just sitting there like, and Mark is like, he couldn't get anything through if he wanted to.
Well, I mean, let's face it. Let's be honest. If it's the three of them, Cook, Leah, Nick, and Smith, they don't need anybody else.
Nope.
No one else
for anything. They can do anything they want.
So it's kind of like you have to use your brain and think.
Yeah.
You know, it's no longer than it will be whatever it is. And Smith definitely walks the line that he wants to walk. So I would assume he would be the leader.
I'm going to go on the record and say I love his guts. I love his guts. I love his moxie. I'm very proud of him because he uses social media and he gets the word out, like the land grab. That was very upsetting. I put a couple of live videos on the Huntington View today showing that the construction looks like either they're storing equipment there or they're getting ready to start. Right. One or the other.
I believe that we're going to have more development because as you go through the town, you see a lot of things that are just popping up. I think that we're not going to be doing things is foolish. So
but we should be giving away property to developers to make a profit off of it.
And that's one of the reasons why you have to admire Smith because he's the one who brought it to us. Because had he not said certain things, we wouldn't know. Now, I don't agree with his style. I think he's a little bit too brash for my liking, but the man has the information. So you have to remove yourself from that and take what he gives. And you cannot fault him for that because he gives you the facts, whether you like it or not. And he was the first one to say, we need to have it reappraised. We shouldn't be giving it away. And he's right.
I still don't understand why Renaissance was just basically given the key to the golden crapper in this town to do whatever they want. And there's a lot of things going down with them now. And I just, they changed a lot of things along the way. I remember they denied that the artist lofts were going to be taking up the municipal parking lot by the train station, and yet it's being mentioned. That man actually said on the record to me it wasn't going to happen. And I have that. I put that up there a few times. He called me basically a liar on permanent town record. And turned around and did exactly what I said he said he was going to do. It's just, and that's the kind of people they are.
Now you're saying this, right? And that's an excellent point. But think about this, right? That's just one aspect. They just recently formed a new group based off of the Renaissance with the Renaissance, the CBA, I think it is. What if they're being investigated? Why do we need to have a new committee?
Right. Are they forming a new committee for the CBA?
It's already formed.
Whoa. And what kind of community outreach was done for the CBA?
Makes you wonder because the people were selected.
Who's on
already?
I saw no community outreach for the CBA.
Go look at the last town board meeting. All the names of the new appointees are there. Okay? You have to wonder, how did that go down? And why is it going down if Renaissance is going through all this mess?
It makes no sense.
You're going to make me name some names. You're going to make me go ferret this out in Google.
It's just very interesting. What I will say is that they did pull from the Latino community.
Xavier Palacios?
No.
Oh.
They did pull from the African American community.
D. Thompson?
No, and that's another thing. It's not the usual suspects. Suspects. So that was good.
Is it their children?
No. Wait a minute. No. I was like, wait a minute. No.
Wait, let me think. No. It's good.
So that was good, but the thing is, what are they meeting about? Because I don't even know if Renaissance is going to be here after all. So
Well, did you see all the trucks there today? Maybe.
yeah, I was looking at what you put. So on
Do you want me to show that real quick? It was super short. It wasn't
Sharing
long
that
at all. I'm trying to keep my stuff shorter nowadays because
yeah, but I don't want you to distort the sound because
I don't even think we even have to play the sound. I
okay.
could just show the it's this one, 1000 Merrick Avenue. And you know what? I think, you know what? This will be a test because it's short. We'll see if it's the town board meetings that distort or my videos.
Okay.
I think it's the town board
I'm thoroughly convinced it's the town board.
I think so too.
Okay, here we go.
Here, 1000. Here,
Do you hear that?
Yeah. And that's on the View?
got a call today about a bunch of equipment over here.
The sound is great.
I had to pop by and show everyone what's going on.
I see it. I see it. Oh, shoot.
Either they're storing equipment or they're ready. That's piping.
Wow.
So again, this is 1000 Merrick Avenue. This is the site where Source Station is looking to build. But we were also made aware, this is the land that we just gave them. You can go to Ed Smith Town Council page to read up on that. Work order number.
I was reading work order number.
So yeah, looks like they're getting ready to start something over here. And gave you the view from behind the fence.
It's going to go
And as always,
all
we'll
the
be
way
keeping a
down
close eye on this spot.
to there.
If you enjoyed
That
this,
building.
thank you.
Oh, my.
Oops. Stop sharing. So it's not my sound, it's the town board's quality of sound on their website. So we're just going to not show their stuff anymore. Our stuff seems to be okay,
All righty.
I guess. We'll see tomorrow.
That is very interesting. I wonder what exactly is going to happen. Because how do you go forward if something is currently being investigated?
Well, they're in litigation for fraud against each other. So, I mean, if you're willing to screw your own family members, what are you willing to do to a town of people you're not related to?
Good question.
I don't understand why people are so daggone messy. God.
No.
Can we just have regular people? Like, just do normal stuff. Shit.
There's no honor left. There's no manners left.
No. It's like, what are you doing?
It's called
You're not
ethics.
thinking.
Oh, that's right.
Called ethics.
And there's a reminder that Friday is the ethics board meeting at Town Hall. If anybody has any complaints of ethics, like situations like we may have just described to you.
You know, being a real estate agent, you have to take tests, you have to sign paperwork, you have to, you know, do continual training, and you have to follow a code of ethics. And if you don't follow your code of ethics, you get fined mucho dinero. Mucho. So I don't understand why people, I know, Maverick, I know, it's ridiculous. He said there are no ethics.
Oh,
These other people in these positions don't do their jobs, and why aren't they fined? You know, nobody holds them accountable.
Who's
Zero
checking
people.
on them?
well, there's no one to hold them
There's
accountable.
no
That's the
accountability.
thing.
Like the judges, there's no accountability. You could do whatever you want because no one cares. You know, it's like no, I'm not going to say that. But yeah, no, it's
You get
pretty
so
bad.
intense, right? Because when we talk passionately because we all three of us believe in what we're saying. We all have very different, diverse attitudes, but we believe in what we say. So it's easy to get caught up. So we do have to retract ourselves and be like, okay, I'm not going to say that. That's going too far. So I can get it, what you're trying to say, because I had to pull myself to Lisa earlier today. I was like, I wanted to say this thing, and it was on the tip of my tongue. I was like,
well, I don't have to apologize for anything I certainly said tonight because it's just the darn truth, and that's
Right.
all there is to it.
I have a post-it note that says, "Don't say the F word." Reminds me.
I think I'm going to use that too. I think I can, I think I could, don't drop the F-bomb, because when you get passionate about politics, it's hard.
You got to get little Post-its and write so when we're on.
I had a mental note not to say the M word, and that doesn't mean Maverick.
I agree. I think, people should understand that we're just human. We will make mistakes. And when we report, we're reporting honestly how we feel.
And I've really been trying to separate my emotional feelings with certain people because of other things I have going on in the background that they won't release me from what we're trying to do here. And that's not easy. I think, Dana, I've talked to you many times about this privately. I'm really trying to be grown up and have a level head, right. But it's hard to move past an emotional issue when you had an emotional event that was surrounding dealing with some of the people who are on the town board right now. So for me, I'm trying to walk that fine line, and I think I'm doing a really good job.
I think you contain yourself. We haven't gotten anything crazy.
I could go crazy. I could do so crazy.
I know, but you haven't. And I think that's something that you should be commended on.
Thank you. I would like a proclamation for that.
Don't hold your breath on that one, but okay.
I know I couldn't get my other one signed, but that's, I'm going to bring that on air one week and show everybody.
You should read the proclamation at the town board meeting.
I should bring it, put little lines at the bottom and say sign here. No, I'm going to tell you, when we talk about handing them out for Tic Tacs, that was a Tic Tac moment. It brought nice, really good press to Huntington, but I think that there are people that are so more deserving. Over the summer, we just saw so many heroes that were saving lives in the Bay, and it really grounds things for you about what proclamations are supposed to be for. We joke about it because, it's, you can't control what has happened, but
it's very unfortunate.
You know what? Maverick sounds like Carl Marcelino was on his video. Did you see Carl Marcelino's video recently?
Oh my God.
So I think he's running for office also. I think his feed is up because we haven't seen anything from him.
What do you think?
I'm pretty sure he is. So he basically, this is kind of fun. Look at Carl's issue. I'm trying to give Lisa a break here.
There's a means of transportation. People getting to and from their place of residence to their place of business and work. If it becomes too difficult or too expensive to use the train, they're going to get in their cars. And they're going to start moving those cars into the city, which the city doesn't want. The city is trying to control traffic in there and trying to limit and restrict car traffic on its streets.
Anyway, I thought that was, we haven't heard from Carl, let alone on a live video, but, election. So he wants to make sure LIRR is affordable. I just also want to let everybody know that Maverick is teething.
Oh, he's fine.
And poor Lisa. Lisa, we all see your struggle. You've never been
sweating
than you are now, honey.
I'm sweating. I can't deal with it. Oh God, Maverick.
Oh, she got stuck with baby. It's not stuck with. She got babysitting duty tonight with a little bit of notice, and she stepped up to the plate. But poor Maverick all day has been teething. He had a very, very hard day at daycare, I heard.
And if you know how it is with teething, it's like one of the worst things that the kids go through.
Oh my God.
It is.
Nothing pleases them. Nothing.
And it's so miserable. Like, we couldn't go through it. I can't even deal with sciatica. I'm sitting on a heating pad right now. No, I'm not kidding. Look, I'm telling you the truth. I never lie, ever. So bad.
I believe you. I definitely believe you. I feel sorry for the little guy because they drive.
And I feel sorry for Lisa because I know she's like, I want to do my imaging. It's okay. And Lisa,
I'm out of breath.
it's okay. We're all humans. We're all volunteers. Remember, we say it all the time. And now's a good time to remind everybody we are completely unscripted.
Yes,
we are unsponsored.
We are.
We do not monetize our YouTube videos.
We do not.
We don't do any of this for any of us to make any money. If anything, it's a time suck. We do this because we love Huntington, and we see a lot of people didn't go to the town board meetings, and we wanted to find a new way to bring everyone information in their own time. And if they like the show, great. If they didn't, nobody's forcing you to watch it. But we're here for you guys.
And I think we do a pretty decent job. And I'm not just tooting my own horn, because like I said, we all have very different approaches. And people think that we don't let Lisa talk. I've heard that before. And it's not that we don't let Lisa talk. Jenny and I, if you know us outside of it, we have dominant personalities.
Right.
Lisa, but when Lisa's passionate about something, make no mistake, she gets it in. And you can tell, because that sweet little grin that she always has goes right away. And then she has the finger and she's like, so you know she means business.
Yeah.
So,
and she'll do the voices too.
Yeah. She's like, I'm just gonna tell you. So it's like, you know, we try our best to be fair. You know, we're each different personalities, different women, but we try to let people, we try to have all three of our thoughts expressed the best way we know how. And
that was important to us when we were, you know, playing with the idea of doing this, that we did come here with diversity of thought. Correct. I mean, I know that we're all women, but we definitely carry very diverse lives, very diverse thought. We're all very, very different in many different ways. So if anybody's coming here thinking we're some sort of vehicle for any type of right wing, left wing, whatever wing, you could be more wrong, because we'll pretty much, you know, if somebody's doing wrong, we're going to talk about it. And
we don't care who it is.
We don't care who it is. And we don't care if it's each other. We call each other on our own crap often.
We do. So it's not all fun and games for everybody who thinks that it is. We definitely have our moments, but we stay true to what we believe in. And I think that's what sets us apart.
Yeah.
You know, we have that. Poor Lisa. I feel bad for her. She's like trying to do
Lisa, I love you.
Poor Lisa. She's like, I'm hanging in there.
I was thinking the other day, I wish I would have had another baby, but I'm like, no, we're good. We're close.
Once you start smelling those diapers and doing all that she's doing right now, I'm all the way good.
No.
And the drool that's all over me right now.
No.
Because he's
getting the throw up. I just put this on. Like, I didn't know.
I will pass. No. But that should be one of the topics that we take a venture out and go look, is childcare.
Wow.
And the cost of childcare.
Oh,
and I'm not talking about the hole in the wall childcare. I'm talking about the proper childcare.
You know, not just childcare, but also like Lisa goes with Maverick to do you go to Little Gym?
Yeah.
She goes to Little Gym. But the cost of also just the whole, otherwise you feel like a guilty mom because you didn't take the class with the mommy and me and make your baby crawl. But there's a cost involved with that too.
That's why I think we should focus on some of that, because a lot of women are going through that.
We should do a mom episode.
We should, because we're all, one thing we have in common, we're all moms of multiple children.
Oh my God, and we all have vaginas. My gender has always been a big thing. I just wanted to say that tonight. That's all. It's a girl show. I'm bringing my vagina into it.
There she is.
Listen.
Don't listen.
Maverick knows.
Oh, he knows.
He knows. We all came out of one.
8 months ago.
We all came out of one.
I can't. I just can't.
You did, though. You did.
You did.
You did.
Unless you were a C-section, but she was gonna. She was gonna.
That's where it started, Dana.
She had intent. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave that right there for you guys to mull over.
That's where it all started.
I need a pink hat.
Oh God.
We're gonna leave the JJs out of it.
Okay.
So what else do we
I have a really good joke right now, but I'm gonna leave it out because it's tutoring.
Oh, tell it. Okay. You already brought it up. How could you leave it?
And on that note, should we swing it over to Rob Trotta with the red light program?
Yes, and I just found out it was picked back up.
Oh, did you hear that he is going to be starting his show again soon?
Yes, I did.
I love Trotta Talks. I'm a big fan of like live feeds like this.
Right.
I hate the news. I hate the media, especially we have like it's not here at all. So here is the Rob Trotta thing. Let me get over here. Boom, boom, boom. And it's the Suffolk Red Light Camera Program extended for a year. And he says what they didn't tell you is that the waiver committee that voted unanimously is only 3 people, 2 appointed by the phone and 1 by the presiding officer of the legislature. So basically everybody's appointed by Democrats. And all Democratic appointees who no one ever voted for. In the 5 years I've been going, they have never voted no to give out a contract Balone wanted to give out. It's a kangaroo court. You would think I'm talking about Russia. Trotta Talks is coming back. Please share. So he's going to be coming back with Trotta Talks. So we're going to keep our eye out for that. But while we're there, since we only have about 8 minutes left, I want to make sure we close with this one. The Patch article that was on all the social media. The man to shoot Kings Park boy after losing video game. My, oh my, the discussions that ran out everywhere on this article.
Jenny, let me ask you this. Do you allow Liam to play Fortnite?
Yes.
Oh, you let Liam play Fortnite at your house?
And my son too.
Okay.
Wait. No.
My kids play Roblox, and most of the ones that they play, I'm watching their screen. So like Lily plays Roblox here, and there's a chat room in there. Most of the games that people need to be concerned with are the ones with the chat rooms. Most of them have them. It's funny. Somebody had tried to shame me because I said, well, I have a clan. I play video games. I pretty much have accounts where my children's playground has changed. So I need to be at their playground, which means I need to get really good at these games and understand what's going on and see them. So there's no shame in joining these games and providing them the example of what you expect their behavior to be. It's no different than teaching them manners at the dinner table. It's really not.
Do you allow Liam to play the Fortnite or no?
So Fortnite is not a game that my children seem to be interested in. Okay. They're interested in Roblox. However, they were involved in the Minecraft phase. When I found out there was a chat room, of course, I was there. When Clash of Clans came out, I started a clan. I became a clan leader. When Clash Royale, I think I still have it, but they've moved on with their video games. They moved into Clash Royale. So I moved into Clash Royale and but because of that, they would be a part of my clan. And based upon my behavior, I was modeling the behavior I expected of them. I would tell people they were not allowed in my clan if they were cursing. I would not allow people in my clan if they were threatening each other. And this becomes a learned behavior that my children now don't accept that kind of behavior from other people.
Okay. I was asking you, particularly because your son and my son are the same age. And I always got a lot of grief because I don't allow my children to play. They don't have a game system. They can play Roblox, but they don't play any of those other video games.
They kind of like it because this is where they gather socially.
Yeah, I still believe in going to like parties and doing sports and having play dates.
But they're not doing that. So if they're not doing that, you have to move the party where the party is. So, but you also have to limit it, because with anything you have to have limitations.
But do you know, my oldest son, who's 22 now, he got his first game console when he was in college. I didn't buy him games either.
These are different. These are apps. They're no longer game consoles that cost
whatever it was.
dollars.
He didn't have that. And I mean, I let them do the roadblocks, but I don't let them have those other things. And I guess I'm fortunate enough that they were not into it, because I haven't been asked about getting a Fortnite. I just wanted to know what another parent thought about it, because I just don't allow them to do the apps or anything. Or video games.
Well, so I kind of hold no bias. I like to see so wherever they go, I go. Right. And I have full control over all of their social media. I have all their passwords. Okay. I have no problem. I have a safe. I bought it for $50. Safe. I take their electronics away at night, and I lock them in the safe. I think that there's a lot of parents that just don't know how to say no to their children, and they use the devices as a babysitter, as a way to not have to parent. And I think it starts out innocently enough. Like, I just need a break.
I could agree with that.
And I think it goes from there. Like, oh, this kept them quiet. And then you don't realize that the quiet isn't necessarily that good. Like, the more you talk to your kids, the smarter they're going to get. My little guy, Liam, he's one of the smartest guys I know.
He's so cute.
I have talked to him more than any child. He's the last child, and he's gotten talked to by everybody.
Yeah.
And because of that, he just has this, he's a sponge, and he knows these crazy things that, like, he's talking about. He's like, do you know that silver dollars don't really have silver in them? They're made of nickel. And I'm like, so wait, it was so great. I love his teacher. His teacher sends me a little message the other night. She goes, I just want you to know I'm so proud of his son, Liam, because he was right and I was wrong when we were talking about, and first of all, what a great teacher to admit that this had the information I didn't have, right? But to send me a kudos to it. But then on top of it, like, where does he know this from? He said he watches Your Daily Dose of Internet. It's his favorite show, and they have the coolest stuff on it.
I think that's cool. They should know that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
that is so
and
cool.
he learns a lot from his dad too. His dad teaches him a lot. Nobody saw, but it's important. So even though your kids, they have these devices, if you don't teach them how to interact with people, and you don't teach them what's required, and because the rules are different. The rules are different when you're home. The rules are different when you're at the dinner table, at somebody else's house, in the grocery store, right? You teach your children how to behave in all these other places, but you don't teach them how to behave on the video games.
Yeah, you can't have the video games. That's how that's how you behave in this house. You don't.
But then you're not. But then you're losing a teaching moment, because eventually you're going to run into the game.
I can honestly say, the friends that they have.
Send them to my clan. I'll take care of it.
I've always had a problem with them being just stuck to the game or to the computer. I've always been like that. I even have a problem now that they have so many things that's done online via the school. So I kind of have to give in anyway, because a lot of things are done via the Kindle or the laptop or the iPad. I just think it just loses the sense of how a child is supposed to be an actual child.
I have to tell you though, it was he had to do this extra credit thing, and he had to do it on Google Docs, and it was really great to just email it to the teacher and know that he's not going to not turn this in today. It's not getting lost in the backpack. It's in Google Docs.
I do like that part, but then when I go look at some of the handwriting that these kids have, I'm like, yeah, come on, I need you to get back to penmanship, because I don't even know what this is.
I agree.
I can't co-sign that one, but I mean, it's good in a sense, but like everything, it has its ups and downs.
So just, you know what time it is?
I did glance at the time.
It's time to put Maverick to bed.
Oh God,
Lisa's been in the war
Oh,
that none of us have been in.
Lisa. Tonight's show was us watching.
And we supported her, and the show still went on.
See, women can do everything. We are so amazing.
We really are. They don't give us the credit.
Really, I made dinner tonight and work.
You can see him now. He's in his little thing.
Oh, now he's happy.
He's in his little thing.
Of course, he's happy now. You know what's funny? This is season 3 because usually it was Finley who would start barking at. Yes, she would disturb every show.
Yeah,
I don't even know where she is.
she was.
Last show she walked in, but I don't know where she's at now.
Bring Maverick on anytime. He's a pleasure.
He was so quiet all day long. After the little gym and after daycare, he was so happy. But after the little gym, he would just play. He would look at his books. He was so good. He watches Elmo, and he was so quiet. As soon as I turned us on, oh my God, Major Scooch.
Yep.
Scooch.
Yep. Every time I would click the go on air, Finley would. Stupid dog. I love her though. Okay. So, do we have any final thoughts?
No. Oh, there's a new Jamaican restaurant in the
I saw
village.
that. I was going to ask you. Yes, I was going to say, do you guys want to go and do a restaurant review?
I went there. The food is very good, and I will definitely go back.
All right. Let's go there and we'll do like a little review of their food.
I'd like to try Hatch. I saw them on News 12 last night.
Wait, do you know the name of it?
Restaurant.
Mobay Breeze.
There's one on Jerry.
Mobay.
I'm sorry, were you guys talking? I'm sorry, Maverick was banging.
I can't even anymore. Okay. No, go ahead.
Maverick, oh my God.
We're going to go get goat at Oxtail at the Jamaican restaurant.
Yeah.
So I guess until then, we'll see everybody. We are definitely coming in on Wednesdays.
Yes, we are.
Every Wednesday. And the time is subject to change only until we get through the first school with all the school stuff we have going on.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
So we hope everyone enjoyed tonight. Huntington View. Say good night, Maverick.
Bye, guys.
Oh,
whoa.
He's so active. Oh my God.
Whoa.
He's so
Good
night, everybody. Have a good evening, everyone.
Bye, guys.